But I do want to talk about the Patriots here, because the Patriots did play the Jets. This was Mac Jones' return game. Return of the Mac as the starting quarterback.
Yeah.
And it didn't start off very well. It was a pretty ugly game for both sides. There was would have been a pick six, but if it got a roughing the passer call, which brought it back, which was lucky for the Patriots.
Mac Jones got very lucky on that call.
He got very, very lucky. It could have been a pretty disappointing game for the Patriots.
They could have lost that game.
Yeah, I mean, if you take a look at the score, 22-17, it was.
Yeah.
Add 7 to that, it would have been 24-22 Jets. But this was a must-win for the Patriots, because it sort of put them in contention between them and the Jets right now, and Miami, because they're 4-4. The Jets and Miami are both 5-3.
Yeah.
So this was very much a must-win for them, and they did go out here and get the win. It also snapped a Jets 4-game winning streak, which is impressive. So I don't know what your takeaway from this game was.
It was a pretty ugly game overall, and I thought neither quarterback played very well. I think that Mac Jones got lucky on that he got roughed when he threw that interception. He threw it right to him.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. He looking right at the guy and threw the ball right to him. I don't understand that, how he managed to do that. Yeah. On the other hand, Zach Wilson was even worse, right? He had 3 picks. 2 of them were he never should have put the ball up in the air. He should have just thrown it out of bounds. The Patriots got really good pressure on the quarterback. The Jets' offensive line, I thought, was supposed to be a lot better. I mean, the Patriots aren't really noted for getting a lot of pressure on the quarterback. Wilson threw the ball out of bounds a number of times. When he wasn't throwing an interception, he was throwing it out of bounds. Somehow he managed to get over 300 yards, Pat. 350.
355
right?
yards.
I don't know how he managed that, but I think the Patriots' strategy was let him keep throwing it up in the air, and he's going to make mistakes. And sure enough, he did. And the Jets have had a pretty good running game. That wasn't on display. I think that's what the Patriots took away, right? They took away the running game for the most part.
15 carries for 51 yards.
The Jets had a new running back in there, so I think they probably thought this is what we can stop, and then we'll make Zach Wilson beat us through the air, and of course Zach Wilson beat himself.
Yeah,
that's what it turned out to be. So I thought the Patriots defense played well, and I thought the Jets defense played pretty well too, but
right.
I think Mac Jones' performance was shaky.
I could agree with you on that, but I'm gonna take it from this standpoint here. Okay, if the Jets would have lost, you know what I would have heard for the next 3 days? Mac Jones is terrible. He mid-Mac, as they like, as my friends in the internet likes to call him, mid-Mac. But I would have given the same reason that I get when I talk about Daniel Jones and the Giants against the Cowboys, because they said Daniel Jones got 23 pressures, 6 sacks. Mac Jones, I don't think I have the pressure numbers here, and I might, but I don't think I do. But I do have the sacks here. Mac Jones got sacked. Oh, take a look at that, 6 times
in the Jets game.
In the Jets game.
Yeah.
So Mac Jones was getting clobbered, and that was the same thing against the Bears too. The pocket would collapse against Mac Jones, and he would need to make a play. Now, in this case...
Yeah. Well, you know what my answer on that one
what?
is? He holds the ball too long.
He holds
the ball way too long. He
games.
Drops back there and looks around, and maybe his receivers stink. They just can't get open, okay? That could be part of it.
That is
But he holds the ball way too long. They need to develop some plays that have an outlet guy that when he looks down the field and he doesn't see him open, immediately goes to the outlet. Okay,
that would be smart.
He holds the ball way too long. Those sacks, he's back there 3.5, 4 seconds looking around. He's going to get sacked.
Right.
There's no point. There's no doubt about it.
Well, I think we're seeing different games here, because what I'm seeing is what you said at the end there, which was maybe he doesn't have enough receivers. Or have any speedy receivers, and they don't. That was the big thing.
Thornton is a speedy
Thornton's
receiver.
like a wide receiver, like 5 for them, and I think he's more of a special teams guy than a route runner. I don't think he's a very good route runner at all. Yeah. Here, I'm gonna bring up this stat here where it talks about the. Yes, I can get advanced. This is Mac Jones's time in the pocket, right?
Yeah.
Let's see if we have it here. We're talking about the most time in the pocket. Mac Jones is 18th. He has 2.4 seconds in the pocket. That's tied with quarterbacks like Baker Mayfield doesn't play anymore, but Andy Dalton, Russell Wilson, Jared Goff, Matt Ryan, Geno Smith, Justin Herbert, even Josh Allen's at 2.4 seconds. So we're talking about here, he's gained the same amount of time. The most actual pocket time is actually Derek Carr and Justin Fields, who I think the difference between him and Mac Jones and Justin Fields, and I said this before, is that I forget which game it was, and I think
Justin Fields is much more mobile than Mac Jones, and he can afford to be back there running around because he can elude people. Mac Jones isn't going to do that. He's a pocket passer.
Right.
He's not somebody that's really very mobile. He's a lot like Tom Brady in that respect. He's
that was the comparison.
He's tall and he's not that fast.
What I see from Justin Fields was that I forget which game it was. I forget which game it was, but there was a game where there was a wide open receiver going over the middle, and he was wide open. If any B plus, any quarterback who trusts himself getting the ball in there to the open receiver, Justin Fields just held the ball. That's all he did was just hold the ball. And then he gets sacked. So there's a reason for that. Justin Fields and Mac Jones, there's two differences. Justin Fields actually has guys that get open. Mac Jones doesn't. But my takeaway from this is that the Patriots defense is okay. But another takeaway I got is a prediction I made when I was doing my Nate's Notches when I put the Jets. I think I can bring it up, but I had the Jets in a category of what, meaning it might have been the questionables, where there were a lot of question marks to the Jets. And I said, without Breece Hall, what are the Jets going to do? Specifically, what will Zach Wilson do without his go-to weapon in Breece Hall? Because Breece Hall had now he's hurt, but he was probably going to be offensive rookie of the year, or at least close to it. He was having a phenomenal year. And I said, what will the Jets do without him? And we see it here.
Throw interceptions.
Zach Wilson needs to mature. He doesn't play with. There's a difference between confidence and ego. Zach Wilson plays with ego. That's what it is, because he thinks he's very. He is very, very talented, but he makes these stupid mistakes.
Yeah.
Like there was the interception along the sideline to Devin McCourty. Throw that out of bounds. What do you're keeping that in play? That should be 50 yards over the stands. And you're throwing it in play. So that was just a bad decision for Zach Wilson. But he needs to smarten up.
Yeah, I was listening to the Fan, and they were hammering him
as they should.
Yeah, they said someone needs to take him aside and talk to him and tell him, it's a team game here. Look what you're doing to the team when you make bad decisions like that.
Right.
And that's a good comment. I think that he probably knows that now. I think he needs to. The plays you can make and the ones you can't. So recognize that and throw the ball out of bounds.
Yeah.
He was doing that quite a bit, but they got a lot of pressure on him.
He had under 50% completion percentage, which, that's good for the Patriots defense. And it's ugly for Zach Wilson. But the Patriots ran the ball pretty well. 34 carries, 127 yards. Yeah. So that's pretty good for them.
Ramondre Stevenson he's having a great year.
He had last year was a really good year for him too.
Yeah. He didn't really get in there much until the second half of the year.
They had that breakout game against the Browns where I think he put up huge numbers and they won 45-7. But third downs, Patriots went 6 of 19 compared to the Jets 5 of 14. Fourth down conversions, they were 50% compared to the Jets 0%, 0 of 1 versus 1 of 2. The Patriots dominated time of possession by 11 minutes. So the Patriots right now, they look really good. And thank God Nick Folk is as accurate as he is. Thank God. Yeah. He had, 5-6 field goals.
He was number 1 in fantasy in the kicking.
Yeah, he had I'm looking right here. He had 5 field goals.
Yeah, 15 points.
And an extra point. Greg Zuerlein, I think, didn't he miss, why do I think he missed the field? No, did he miss a field goal? I'm pretty sure Greg Zuerlein missed.
No, he missed one.
Yeah, it was very early in the game. Yeah, and they missed one. But Zach Wilson just needs to smarten up. That's all it is. He needs to stop playing with an ego, start playing with a little bit of confidence in yourself.
I think it was a check on the Jets, whether they're for real or not, right?
I'm nervous for them.
The 13th time the Patriots have beaten them in a row.
Yeah. And the Jets came very close to beating them.
Benchmark for them. They got to find a way to beat the Patriots, and so far they can't.
Yeah, it was rough. But you know what? The Patriots, they were able to adjust in the second half because they went into halftime down 10-6.
Yeah.
They come out with a really good opening drive, put up a touchdown. Mac
Their
Jones is a
offense
question mark.
their
though.
offense, though. They need to score more points. They need to score some touchdowns.
Yeah.
They can't rely on the field goal every time. When they
Field
get
goals
down
don't win
there,
you games.
their
Touchdowns do.
efficiency in the red zone's got to be terrible, right? They get down there and they can't score a touchdown.
Right.
It's happened to them a lot. They
Well,
got to figure that out.
Their passing offense is ranked 23rd. Their rushing offense is ranked 13th. Their defense is also below average as well.
That's hard to believe. I mean, in terms of points allowed, they've got to be right up there.
Points allowed. Do I even have it here? Points scored for the team. They are 12th.
12th in points allowed.
12th in points allowed, but 19th in yards given up. Their rushing defense, as we've seen in 2 games against Lamar and against the Bears and Justin Fields, mobile quarterback
is
is
good against the mobile quarterback. That's for sure.
It's because I don't think they have enough contain. That's the problem.
Yeah,
and they don't. You know what? I think this is a wake up call for the Patriots.
Well, who do they play this week? Next week?
I'm not sure. I mean, obviously, I could look it up right now, and I will. They play games and schedules. They play the Colts.
Oh,
with Sam Ellinger, which should be interesting.
Yeah.